Bangladesh currently brewing. Now let's shift our focus to the updates that we're tracking from the violence hit Sambhal in Uttar Pradesh. The Uttar Pradesh government has set up a 3-member judicial panel to probe into the violence that rocked the western UP district of Sambhal on 24th of November. The commission is headed by retired High Court Judge Justice D.K. Arora, with retired IAS officer Amit Mohan Prasad and former UP DGP A.K. Jain as members. The 3-member commission has been mandated to ascertain whether the violence in Sambhal was a normal criminal activity or a pre-planned, instigated conspiracy. The panel will submit its report in the span of 2 months. According to the state government, the panel will probe whether the violence was part of a larger conspiracy or not. The order also issued that the emphasis that the panel would also probe the role of the local police and the action taken by it to bring the situation under control and to maintain the law and order in the district. Additionally, it would look into the reasons which triggered the violence and make suggestions to prevent repeat of such incidents. Meanwhile, the Supreme Court has halted the proceedings in the trial court as far as the survey of the mosque is related. The Supreme Court has urged maintaining peace and harmony while stopping any further actions by the trial court until the High Court has an opportunity to hear the matter again. In this regard, the Apex Court has directed the Management Committee of the Shahi Idgah Masjid in Uttar Pradesh's Sambhal to approach the Allahabad High Court to challenge the trial court's order. The Supreme Court has ordered the Allahabad High Court to hear the plea filed by the Mosque Management Committee within 3 working days of submission. The court also noted that the trial court hearing scheduled for January 8 would not proceed until the High Court has reviewed the case. Well, that was in fact all the backgrounder that it is important to be known at this point of time when after the Friday prayers, the administration is now gearing up to maintain peace and law and order in the Sambhal. Joining me live on the broadcast is my colleague Abhishek Singh. Abhishek, now coming to you at this point of time, what exactly lies ahead for the people of the district? Have you spoken to the residents, the eyewitness who have in fact been at the forefront of the violence that took place? Now the 3-member committee, which is in fact also headed by the justice and a senior people of also the police department, is going to look into the contents of the probe and also find out if at all this was a pre-planned conspiracy. What is the latest that you are picking up as far as there is maintaining of law and order in Sambhal currently?
Yes, right now the situation of Sambhal, you can say in Sambhal the forces are still deployed and also the senior officials are camping in Sambhal, and until 10th of the December BNS 163 is also deployed, so that more than 4 or people cannot move around. Also the situation is getting some nerves at that time also when this whole violence incident broke down and when the politics has also started. Today itself, Samajwadi Party's delegation is about to come to Sambhal to meet the deceased family and also to the people who were in the violence and the accused also. More than 700 people are identified by the police through visuals, through CCTV cameras and footages, who were doing the stone pelting and also shooting fires on people. And the clear footages, the clinching evidence of the whole incident is being monitored by and also very soon we can see the posters also which are deployed of those people who were doing violence at that time. Also when we were in talk and yesterday when the people were doing offering namaz of Jummeh ki namaz after this whole incident. This was the first time the people will gather and will come out of their places and will meet in such mob. So the sensitivity, understanding the sensitivity of the whole situation, the administration has talked with the Muslim Dharm Gurus and also to the peace committee to float a message downline that they should not come in any of the rumor mongerings. People should not gather at the places, and also people should not get into someone's words. Now the situation has become into a crisis, and it could become into a crisis once some of the political parties, what we are understanding and administration is telling us, because of this only 163 is deployed, and also internet is also being suspended till today also. What we are knowing that the administration has denied for the permission of Samajwadi Party's delegation unless and until they still wanted to come to Sambhal. At 12 noon, the party leaders, more than 5 MPs, leader of opposition of UP Assembly, state president of Samajwadi Party and many others, 15-member delegation wanted to come to Muradabad, and they will gather here in Muradabad and then move to Sambhal. But what we are getting from our sources that at many of the places of Samajwadi leaders, police has started detaining them. House arrested are also being made, so that they were being prevented to come to Sambhal. Yes.
All right, Abhishek. In fact, all eyes are going to be on Samajwadi Party's 15-member delegation that is likely to also visit the violence-hit Sambhal. Are there any preparations that have also been maintained and prepared ahead of this visit by the primary opposition party of the Uttar Pradesh Samajwadi Party? The Samajwadi Party's delegation, in fact, has confirmed visiting the violence-hit area. What exactly are the measures that have also been placed by the administration given the sensitivity of this matter at this point?
Yes, Samajwadi delegation wants to come to Sambhal to meet the deceased family and people who have lost their family members in the host violence incident. But what administrating is stating that still the situation is not normalized and people are still under fear and situation can break down into some other tangent. So the thing should not get politicized. The people from other places should not be come to Sambhal to talk to the people or to broke some other angles of the whole incident. So this was the reason why administration has stopped any of the people outside the Sambhal to come to the Sambhal and meet the people. And right now what we are getting to know that heavy forces are deployed on the borders so that no other people from the other places, either from the political parties or from any of the places, should not come to the Sambhal, so that the peace should be prevailed in Sambhal unless and until the situation will get normalized.
All right, Abhishek, thank you for in fact adding more details and giving us this latest information. Now, in fact, more viewers, my colleague has also spoken with the Sambhal's Samajwadi Party's district head over the matter. Let's now listen.
हिंसा के बाद जुमे की नमाज शांतिपूर्ण ढंग से हुई। प्रशासन ने बहुत सारे इंतजामात किए थे। समाजवादी पार्टी का एक डेलीगेशन यहाँ संभल आने वाला है। जानकारियाँ मिल रही हैं कि तकरीबन 5 सांसद, 2 से 3 जिलाध्यक्ष और साथ ही साथ नेता विरोधी दल माता प्रसाद पांडे, प्रदेश अध्यक्ष समाजवादी पार्टी के यहाँ पर मौजूद होंगे। हमारे साथ बातचीत करने के लिए संभल के समाजवादी पार्टी के जिला अध्यक्ष मौजूद हैं, असगर अली अंसारी। उनसे बात करेंगे कि क्या इन्होंने अपनी तरफ से इंतजामात किए, क्योंकि प्रशासन की तरफ से अभी भी मंजूरी नहीं दी गई है किसी भी पॉलिटिकल पार्टी या किसी भी तरफ से कोई डेलीगेशन को यहाँ पर आने को लेकर, क्योंकि मामला अभी भी सेंसिटिव है, ऐसा कहा जा रहा है। असगर जी, कल डेलीगेशन आने वाला है समाजवादी पार्टी का, प्रशासन से आप लोग बात कर रहे हैं, अभी भी परमिशन नहीं मिली है।
कल हमारी पार्टी के राष्ट्रीय अध्यक्ष आदरणीय अखिलेश यादव जी के निर्देश पर, जो कि जब से संभल के अंदर हिंसा हुई है, लगातार अखिलेश जी हमारे उसको लेकर के बोलते चले आ रहे हैं। उन्होंने खुद स्वयं भी कहा था कि मैं संभल आऊँगा और जो पीड़ित हैं उनके बीच में जा कर के उसको जा कर के सुनने का काम करूँगा और देखूँगा। तो उन्होंने कहा था कि एक प्रतिनिधिमंडल पहले आएगा, उसके बाद में हो सकता है कि राष्ट्रीय अध्यक्ष जी भी आएँ। तो इसलिए कल जो है हमारा समाजवादी पार्टी का एक प्रतिनिधिमंडल संभल आएगा, जो 15 सदस्यीय है, जिसमें हमारे 2 नेता विरोधी दल हैं विधान परिषद के हों, विधानसभा के हों, 5 सांसद हैं और 4 विधायक और हम 3 जिलाध्यक्ष उसमें हैं। और वो 12 बजे करीब संभल पहुंचने का काम करेगा और लोग जो पीड़ित हैं उनसे मिलने का भी काम करेगा और जो भी सही रिपोर्ट होगी उसको लेकर के पार्टी के राष्ट्रीय अध्यक्ष आदरणीय अखिलेश यादव जी सौंपने का काम करें।
प्रशासन से आप लोगों ने मंजूरी मांगी थी, प्रशासन ने मना कर दिया, क्या डीएम साहब से आपने बात करी थी, पूछा था उनसे, तो क्या कहा उन्होंने?
नहीं, मेरी बात डीएम साहब से नहीं हुई है, लेकिन हमारे विधायक जी ने, जो इकबाल महमूद साहब विधायक हैं संभल वाले, उन्होंने, वो स्वयं उस प्रतिनिधिमंडल में हैं, उन्होंने बात की थी डीएम साहब से, तो उन्होंने यही कहा है कि भाई कल तक और रोक है और उसके बाद में जो भी आएगा उसका हो। लेकिन प्रतिनिधिमंडल का पहले से ही आने की तारीख तय हो गई है, तो प्रतिनिधिमंडल तो आएगा और कल चाहे लोगों से मिलना तो है ही, चाहे रुकना पड़े या मिलना पड़े, जैसे भी होगा वो कल तय होगा।
प्रशासन रोकेगा बीच में या
अब वो देखेंगे जैसे भी होगा। आ तो रहा ही है, प्रतिनिधिमंडल तो आएगा ही।
पहले मुरादाबाद आने का?
पहले मुरादाबाद आएंगे, मुरादाबाद से ही संभल के लिए आएंगे वो।
और रोका गया तो फिर रुक जाएंगे आप लोग?
अब वो जो मौके पर होगा वो करेंगे, जैसे भी होगा। हम लोग चाहते हैं शांतिपूर्वक तरीके से हमारे लोग, जो भी पार्टी के लोग आ रहे हैं, वो उन पीड़ितों से मिल लें और जहाँ जहाँ जो हुआ है, ये बवाल हुआ है, उस जगह पर जाकर के जनता से मिलने का काम हमारा प्रतिनिधिमंडल करेगा।
ये भी कहा जा रहा है कि ऐसे वक्त पर कई बार राजनीतिक पार्टियां राजनीतिक रोटियां सेकने का काम करती हैं, इस तरह की बातें करती हैं। इस तरह के आरोपों से कैसे?
नहीं, ये तो भाई देखिए, कहते ही हैं लोग, भाई ये संभल तो हमारा बहुत अमन चैन का संभल हमारा रहा है, संभल है। हम लोग भी चाहते हैं कि संभल में शांति व्यवस्था बनी रहे। पहले दिन से हम सारे लोग लगे हैं कि यहाँ जो अफवाहें हैं, जो फैलाई जा रही हैं अफवाहें, उन पर ध्यान ना दे करके हमें शांति बनानी है संभल के अंदर, क्योंकि हम लोगों को यहीं रहना है। हमारे चाहे अधिकारी हों या और दूसरे लोग हों, वो तो आज यहाँ हैं, कल चले जाएंगे, लेकिन हम लोगों को तो यहीं रहना है ना। तो इसलिए हम लोग चाहते हैं कि संभल का माहौल, जिस तरह से आज जुमे की नमाज हुई है, इंशाल्लाह कल भी डीआई साहब और डीएम साहब और कप्तान साहब के साथ उलेमाओं की मीटिंग हुई। इसमें इकबाल महमूद साहब विधायक जी थे और मैं स्वयं उसमें रहा। सारे लोगों ने जिम्मेदारी के साथ में वहाँ पर कहा कि हम लोग पूरी जिम्मेदारी के साथ कहते हैं कि सब लोग अपनी अपनी मस्जिदों में नमाज पढ़ेंगे और जो माहौल ख़राब हुआ है उसको सही करने का काम करेंगे।
क्योंकि प्रशासन जांच कर रहा है, आज शांतिपूर्ण तरीके से हुआ, इंटरनेट को भी बाधित किया जा रहा है, आपको नहीं लगता कि पॉलिटिकल पार्टी के लोग, आपकी पार्टी या बाकी कोई पॉलिटिकल पार्टी के लोग आएंगे तो दोबारा वो जख्म खुरेदने की बात होगी, या अभी भी जिस तरह माहौल सेंसिटिव बना हुआ है वो कहीं से फिर से कुछ और रंग ले सकता है?
नहीं, अब ऐसा नहीं है कि माहौल ख़राब करने वाला नहीं, बल्कि माहौल को ठीक करने के में हम लोग जो हैं उसमें जा कर के हम लोग भी चाहते हैं कि माहौल सही हो। और हमारी पार्टी का प्रतिनिधिमंडल माहौल बिगाड़ने नहीं, बल्कि जो यहाँ पर जाती हुई है या जिस तरह से माहौल ख़राब हुआ है उसकी सही जानकारी लेने के लिए हमारा प्रतिनिधिमंडल राष्ट्रीय अध्यक्ष जी ने हमारे भेजा है। और वही यहाँ पर लोगों से बात करके, और जो जिन लोगों की जानें गई हैं उसमें समाजवादी पार्टी पहले दिन से लगातार उनके प्रति सहानुभूति है और हम लोगों को भी दुख है। और दुख तो सबको ही होना चाहिए, जब एक इंसान जाता है तो उसके कितनी कमी होती है, उसका परिवार होता है, उसके माता पिता होते हैं, उसकी बीवी बच्चे होते हैं, उसके मिलने वाले होते हैं, दोस्त होते हैं, कितने लोगों से की कमी महसूस होती है उसमें। उसको लेकर के समाजवादी पार्टी कभी माहौल ख़राब नहीं बल्कि माहौल बनाने का काम करती है। और माहौल बनाने का ही हम लोग जो जाएंगे, वह माहौल ख़राब नहीं बल्कि माहौल बनाने का काम करेंगे।
हमारे साथ बातचीत करने के लिए थे असगर अली अंसारी, समाजवादी पार्टी के संभल के जिलाध्यक्ष। उनका कहना है कि समाजवादी पार्टी के प्रतिनिधिमंडल का आना पहले से तय था, फिलहाल प्रशासन ने आने की अनुमति नहीं दी है, लेकिन क्योंकि आना तय है तो वो मुरादाबाद आएंगे, वहां से संभल आएंगे, लोगों से मुलाकात करेंगे। प्रशासन जैसे रोकता है, उन्हें रोकने को कहता है, उसके बाद वहीं पर वो निर्णय लेंगे। साथ ही साथ उनका कहना है कि यहाँ कोई राजनीतिक रोटी नहीं सेक रहा, समाजवादी पार्टी कोशिश करेगी माहौल संभालने की, बिगाड़ने के बजाय। कैमरामैन दीपक के साथ अभिषेक सिंह, India News, Sambhal.
Now viewers, shifting our focus to developments that we are tracking as Cyclone Fengal intensifies into a severe cyclonic storm, posing a significant threat to India's eastern coast. According to the Meteorological Department, the cyclone is expected to make the landfall soon, bringing heavy rainfall across the coastal regions. The storm is expected to make the landfall near Puducherry on Saturday, with wind speeds gusting up to 90 kilometers per hour. Minister for Revenue and Disaster Management KKSSR Ramachandran chaired a meeting with the senior officials at the State Emergency Operations to review the preparedness and relief measures. The IMD has also issued heavy rain warnings for several districts in Tamil Nadu, including Puducherry as well. Authorities have also urged the residents to remain cautious and follow the safety advisories in such a situation. Meanwhile, complying with an advisory, 4,153 boats have returned shore and 2,229 relief camps were ready for use if required. The state government has in fact informed. As of now, a total of 471 people belonging to nearly 170 families have been accommodated in 6 relief centers separately in Tiruvarur and Nagapattam districts. Now viewers, let's take a closer look at how in fact the landfall, which looks like by the cyclone Fengal, is expected to be made. As you can see on your screens, in fact this is the region where the landfall is and can be seen very clearly, and this is the part which has been in fact going to hit the coastal region and also bring heavy rainfall as we speak about it. The region of the cyclone Fengal in fact is going to bring rain and thunder as we can see, as it is also predicted at this point of time. The wind speeds are also expected to hit nearly 190. And this is the in fact the picture as you can see in the maps, where the rain and thunder is going to be accommodated at this point, where weather is going to be changed and challenged. The wind speed is going to be increased, where at this point in the evening the landfall is expected to be seen. When we talk about how in fact it looks like the kind of intensity that we are speaking at this point, the kind of concentration by the maps and the colors you can see on your screen is evident enough to give a picture of how severe the cyclonic landfall is going to be. All right, viewers, now joining me live on the broadcast is my colleague Belly Thomas. Belly, as you join me live, in fact, what are the preparations that have been done on the ground and at the level 0? When in fact cyclone Fengal is going to make the landfall, it is going to be severe. Several schools are shut. There are advisories that have been issued by the state government. Emergency crucial meetings have been chaired. What is that in fact preparation, the preparedness in fact that has been made by the state and the authorities and the disaster management teams to ensure that the damage caused to the property and the lives is actually told down to minimum?
Simran, the Minister for Disaster Management, Ramachandran, in the state has conducted emergency meetings with officials, and post that teams have been formed, and both from the National Disaster Response Force and the State Disaster Response Force deployed in the coastal areas. And as of now, more than 470 people of Nagapattinam and Tiruvarur districts have been shifted to 6 relief camps, and a total of 2,229 camps have been opened in districts where heavy rain has been predicted due to cyclone Fengal, and over 4,100 fishing boats have returned following an advisory issued by the authorities in the coastal districts. And along with that, the schools and colleges in Chennai, Tiruvallur, Kanchipuram and Chengalpattu districts have been directed to remain closed. The IT companies have been requested to allow their employees to work from home on Saturday, and the public transport services on the East Coast Road and the old Mahabalipuram Road will be temporarily suspended from Saturday afternoon, as the cyclone Fengal's landfall is expected by evening, especially to the coastal Tamil Nadu area. Most importantly, the Union Territory of Puducherry, where the regional meteorological meteorological department officials predict that the cyclonic storm will move northwestwards across the coastal lines of Tamil Nadu, but mostly the Union Territory, Puducherry's coast, with wind speeds 70 to 80 kilometers is what they're saying, but the wind speeds can go up to 90 kilometers post-afternoon. Today. Usually the northeast monsoon, the normal life of a weather system that develops into a cyclonic storm over the Bay of Bengal is up to 4.4 days. However, the cyclonic storm Fengal has persisted for a longer time, is what the observations of the RMD, the Regional Meteorological Department, observes here. And as a result, like I said, all the schools and colleges and have been asked to remain closed, and the IT employees have been asked to work from home, and the public transport have been
all right, Billy. In fact, thank you for adding these details and sharing more on the news break that we are tracking very closely. Now it's time to shift our focus to the national capital, where politics is now brewing ahead of the assembly elections that are scheduled for next year. Now, former DCW chairperson and Rajya Sabha MP, Aam Aadmi Party Rajya Sabha MP Swati Maliwal has visited Kalkaji Assembly constituency of Delhi Chief Minister Atishi, where residents have raised concerns about broken roads and poor infrastructure, and the problem that the residents have been facing, incumbent problem of garbage disposal in the area of Kalkaji. In fact, this is also one of those areas where water scarcity always hits at the worst, and residents continue to suffer with all the civic infrastructure related issues, which in fact always become the forefront of the politics of the national capital. As you can see, in fact, in the visuals, this is the former DCW chairperson making a visit to Kalkaji. All right, viewers, that was all the news of the nation and the world. Will continue to track all the developments very closely. Till then, stay with us.
MDH का किचन किंग किचन में हो तो हम सब कुछ बना सकते हैं। बैंगन का भरता, आलू गोभी, भिंडी मसाला और भी बहुत कुछ। MDH
एंटी नारकोटिक्स टास्क फोर्स हाईली प्रोफेशनल बंदे हायर कीते ने, चाहे वो लॉ अफसर होण, चाहे वो फोरेंसिक दे होण, चाहे होर जांच दे अधिकारी होण, ते अपनी होणगे इन्हां दे।
भगवंत सिंह मान जी की जो एंटी नारकोटिक्स टास्क फोर्स है, इसमें कन्विक्शन रेट इज़ एज हाई एज 81%। व्हाट्सएप चैटबोट एंटी ड्रग हेल्पलाइन जिसका नाम है सेफ पंजाब, भगवंत सिंह मान जी ने इसीलिए लॉन्च करी थी कि लोगों को हमसे भी ज़्यादा इन्फॉर्मेशन होती है कि कौन नशा बेच रहा है, कहाँ बेच रहा है। 457 पे एक्शन भी लिया जा चुका है, जैसे कि रेड करना उनके घर पे या फिर FIR करना।
ਜਿਹੜਾ ਨਸ਼ਾ ਹੈ ਇੱਕ ਬਹੁਤ ਵੱਡੀ ਲਾਨਤ ਹੈ, ਪਰਿਵਾਰ ਖਤਮ ਹੋ ਰਹੇ ਇਹਦੇ ਨਾਲ। ਇਸ ਕਰਕੇ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਦੀ ਬੜੀ ਅੱਛੀ ਸੋਚ ਹੈ ਜਿਹੜੀ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਨੇ ਜ਼ੀਰੋ ਟੋਲਰੈਂਸ ਰੱਖੀ ਹੈ ਵੀ ਨਸ਼ੇ ਨੂੰ ਖਤਮ ਕੀਤਾ ਜਾਏ।
ਲਾਅ ਐਂਡ ਆਰਡਰ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਅਸੀਂ ਕੋਈ ਢਿੱਲ ਨਹੀਂ ਦਿੰਦੇ ਤੇ ਨਾ ਹੀ ਕਿਸੇ ਨੂੰ ਬਖਸ਼ਿਆ ਜਾਂਦਾ। 3.5 ਕਰੋੜ ਲੋਕਾਂ ਦਾ ਇੱਕ ਗੁਲਦਸਤਾ ਹੈ ਪੰਜਾਬ ਸਾਡਾ, ਸੋ ਸਾਰਿਆਂ ਦੀ ਜਾਨ ਮਾਲ ਦੀ ਰਾਖੀ ਕਰਨਾ ਗਵਰਨਮੈਂਟ ਦਾ ਫਰਜ਼ ਬਣਦਾ ਹੈ।
Under the leadership of Chief Minister Bhagwant Singh Mann, the Punjab government has a zero tolerance policy against drugs. Another strict step by the Punjab government, Safe Punjab, anti-drug helpline and WhatsApp chatbot. For complaints, message us at 97791 00200. Join us in the fight against drugs.
अब आया असली स्वाद।
अब आया स्वाद।
जब स्वाद के पड़े हो लाले तो MDH का चंकी चाट मसाला डालें। MDH का चंकी चाट मसाला।
MDH।
Punjab's Sadak Suraksha Force is creating history. In only 6 months, there has been a 45% reduction in road accident fatalities.
ਇਸ ਵਾਰ SSF ਕਰਕੇ ਕਿੰਨੀਆਂ ਮੌਤਾਂ ਘਟ ਗਈਆਂ। ਜੇ 50% ਵੀ ਘਟਾ ਲਿਆ 3000 ਬੰਦੇ ਦੀ ਜਾਨ ਬਚ ਜੂਗੀ ਜੀ, 3000 ਬੰਦੇ ਦੀ।
Chief Minister Bhagwant Singh Mann took one brave step and changed the picture of Punjab. The result, Punjab got a dedicated force committed to road safety.
ऐसे ही बड़े रहते थे जी रोड पे, कोई पूछने वाला नहीं था जी कि एक्सीडेंट हो गया, जरूरत है किसी चीज की, पर अब एक कॉल करो, बंदे हाजिर।
SSF doesn't just help accident victims, it also ensures that the road safety is never compromised under any circumstances.
हमारा मोटिव है एक सेकंड गवाए बिना राहत पहुंचाना हर कीमत पर।
Equipped with world-class technology, capable of handling the toughest situations.
अब तो अकेले ट्रैवल करने में भी डर नहीं लगता, क्योंकि पता है SSF is just a call away.
जय हिंद जी, पंजाब पुलिस कंट्रोल रूम 112।
Always prepared for their duty, with a response time that is fast, very fast.
उस दिन अगर जरा सी भी देर हो जाती तो कुछ भी हो सकता था।
Only 6 months, and there has been a 45% reduction in road accident fatalities in Punjab. Sadak Suraksha Force Punjab, with you on every journey.
बढ़िया है, प्राकृतिक हल्दी, मिर्ची, धनिया।
नहीं, मिर्ची, धनिया, हल्दी, MDH।
मसाले सच सच MDH।
Hello and welcome to the NewsX Sunday Guardian Roundtable. We are discussing the big takeaways from the Maharashtra election. While we are recording, the Chief Minister hasn't yet been announced, but the strength of the win, the sweep of the of the Mahayuti alliance, what went wrong for the Mahavikas Aghadi? What are the lessons for the Congress? The takeaways? What does it say for the BJP? Does it really need the RSS to win elections more than it needs Modi? These are some things that we are going to be discussing today. Joining me on the panel is Rashid Kidwai. He is the author of 24 Akbar Road. He is also a political strategist, political commentator and journalist. Sanjay Jha, he's a former Congress spokesperson and still a very loyal Congress leader. And Tehsim Poonawala, he's a political strategist, Congress sympathizer also. So Tehsim and Sanjay, you are both really on the ground over there. So I'll get it, a feedback from you first. Tehsim, what is happening on ground over there? In terms of the Congress, what is the big picture? What went wrong? What are the takeaways?
Priya, thank you for having me on the show. Namaste to all my fellow panelists and all your viewers. 2 or 3 things. I am astounded with how, after Haryana, another self-poll was scored. I am astounded. I kept telling every single MD leader, I told them, what are we doing? First of all, this woke idea or this absolutely champagne and cheese idea that Uddhav Thackeray ji should have been projected as chief minister. I mean, what were we smoking? So, because some of our people gave this idea, Sanjay Raut got this great brainwave. All throughout the election, he kept attacking the Congress that Uddhav Thackeray ji should be chief minister. It really scared the people. Matlab, sarkar bani nahi hai and you're fighting over chief minister. This is the first thing. Number 2, we should have been very clear that yes, the Uddhav Thackeray faction got vote in Lok Sabha, but that was a Congress vote. The core Shiv Sena Uddhav Thackeray group, the Hindutva vote went with BJP, the Marathi Manus went with Eknath Shinde. So what was Uddhav ji banking on? He was banking on the Muslim vote. But the Muslims were disappointed after the Lok Sabha election. On Waqf, on all these issues, he walked out. They were not taking a clear stand. So there was this issue. Third, you see, polarization doesn't work. Let me be very clear. Polarization doesn't work. If at all there was more polarization in Jharkhand than in Maharashtra. Polarization only works if you react to polarization. So in Jharkhand, Hemant Soren ji did not react, Congress did not react. They kept saying outsiders, Beti Bahu. They kept saying tribal pride, JMM and Congress, and we will give you these yojna, this yojna, this yojna. Outsiders are coming to Jharkhand. In Maharashtra, those images of one Mohtarma and her Shauhar getting pictures with this rabid Maulana who spoke about Taliban rule and women not being educated. That other Maulana who was wanted to do Ghazwa Hind, and Rashid ji will bear with me. मतलब पायजामा पूरा नहीं पहन सकते, आपको गजवा हिंद करना है. तो मतलब this bankruptcy, it created a counter polarization. Again, it created that fear factor. Polarization only makes it another side polarization. Why did you have to respond? And I'll tell you something very personal. So this Yasin Malik's wife wrote this letter to Rahul ji. Rahul ji till date hasn't got that letter. Rashid ji, please note. Sanjay, please note. He's still not got that letter. Letter पहुंचा बीजेपी के प्रवक्ताओं के पास. Why do we have to react? Let Yasin Malik wife write a letter, or let Barack Obama write a letter. Why do we have to react to it? You speak about the cotton farmers, the soybean farmers. You're reacting to that letter.
Okay, so they went off message basically, yeah.
And the worst was the BJP and playing on Sanjay Raut. I'll just end with one thing and one data. Muslims, that Muslim votes are only for the NDA was the biggest mistake. So in Worli, Balasaheb Thackeray's grandson won because of Raj Thackeray. Otherwise, 25% Muslim votes went to Milind Deora. Please check the data for yourself. So Balasaheb Thackeray's grandson only won because of Raj Thackeray. Had Raj Thackeray not been there, Balasaheb Thackeray's grandson would have lost and Milind would have won. That's the fact.
Okay. Sanjay, your also takeaways from the, the first impressions from Maharashtra.
Hi, Priya. Let me tell you that one of the biggest lessons of politics is that a week is a long time in politics. This is not some kind of an empty, hollow adage. There's a reason why it has stayed consistent in all conversations across countries when it comes to elections. And 5 months is a long time. I know that everybody is very surprised that the MVA led in 155 constituencies and it has been reduced to 50 in assembly. Which is like literally 1/3. Now, the reasons behind that are many. And I think one needs to concede that the Mahayuti actually recognized that after its, I would say, shocking underperformance in the Lok Sabha, because Maharashtra is one of the results why Mr. Modi did not get an absolute majority in the Lok Sabha. I think the Maha Vikas Aghadi took the eye of the big prize. I'll agree with Tehseen on that point for sure, that there was an element of complacency and the belief that in 5 months, the situation cannot change dramatically. And one of the assumptions that a lot of people made was that if you do well in the Lok Sabha, which is normally meant to be more pro-center or pro-Modi, then it's likely that in the assembly you will actually do better because it's going to be fought on hyper-local issues. So the general assumption became that the Mahavikas Aghadi will end up at 175, 180, far above the halfway mark. Now, that can lull you into a great deal of complacency. Now, if you look at the situation in Maharashtra, I'm telling you, based on the mudde, as we call it, Mahayuti should have been devastated. Unemployment is a big issue in Maharashtra. It's not a standard trope that is used in, 9 p.m. shows. It is a big challenge. Food inflation is skyrocketing, not just regular inflation, food inflation, which affects a common man. Manoj Jarange Patil was hostile to Devendra Fadnavis. And it was expected that the Maratha agitation would, in fact, dent the BJP once again. And don't forget, the Congress did very well in both Marathwada and Vidarbha. So I would say that Western Maharashtra looking good for the NCP Congress combined, and Mumbai, the bastion of the Shiv Sena, actually made a lot of us, including me, I'll be very honest, that out of the 6 regions of Maharashtra, the MBA would be ahead in at least 4. The Thane, Kalyana,
But then what?
and the Konkan belt would go with Shiv Sena and the BJP. And North Maharashtra was up for grabs. It was not like it would be totally...
A little bit, Sanjay, away from the detailing, since the election is over, but looking ahead.
I would say looking ahead, one thing, let's look at the hard numbers. Post the 2014 Lok Sabha, you have 2 states that have gone to the India Alliance, Jammu and Kashmir and Jharkhand. Let's not try and, kind of ignore them just because the mainstream media doesn't talk about them because they went anti-BJP. I think Jammu and Kashmir was a good victory for the India Alliance, a critical state that, did not fall entirely into the Article 370 issue. And Jharkhand is, I think, a remarkable victory for JMM Congress, and full credit to Hemant Soren and Kalpana Soren in particular. But going forward, I think the perception, and which is bad for the Congress, I believe, the perception that the Congress blew away Haryana and therefore allowed the ramifications of that to play in Maharashtra, where once again the MVA lost. With the principal architect, the Congress not performing well at all, having the lowest strike rate, I think it in a way it dents the enthusiasm and the tailwinds that were in favor of the opposition alliance. That's where we stand today.
We're also joined by Daniel Francis. He's an election strategist and someone who has worked very closely with Eknath Shinde's Sena. So good time to have you over here, Daniel. But before I come to you, I just want to go to Rashid. Rashid, the big takeaways is what we were discussing from the Maharashtra election. And Sanjay Jha said that, look, let's not ignore Jharkhand and J&K. But that's my problem with the Congress. In both these states, they've played a supporting role. They haven't been the main lead player as they were perhaps in Haryana. And in Maharashtra, we can figure out what kind of role they played. Did they hand it over to Uddhav on a platter, as Tehsim has just pointed out?
Yeah. So, Priya, in long and short of this whole outcome has been that the Congress and India Alliance both put together are back to pre-June 4th, 2024 position, which is what they are all happy to be unhappy. And that is their, sort of state of mind, and therefore there is no way forward. I see the India alliance, breaking into, sort of pieces because Aam Aadmi Party is already away. Mamata Banerjee is unhappy. It's a time before JMM and, NC Farooq Abdullah, etc. They go away. So therefore, Congress has to stitch its own sort of, strength. And that is where this comes in. Remember, Congress has largely outsourced electioneering to, poll strategist, and we have a poll strategist here, therefore it's not out of place. Now, what were poll strategists doing? The gentleman who was looking after the Congress has started working from January onwards. He did not do Lok Sabha election. I will repeat, he did not do Lok Sabha election because he wanted to focus on Maharashtra. And what is the outcome? If in 29 places, if MBA alliance partners come third, in the sense that, they are behind the Mahayuti and there is someone else, that tells you about the candidate selection and why these people are, are retained and tried. We all know what happened in Haryana. There are a lot of reports were there how a lady got 7,000 votes and she was graded as, A+ chances of winning. I think Rahul Gandhi and Kharge, they do not believe in any sense of accountability. They believe in giving 9 crore rupees invite to a poll strategist, and they are very happy their conscience is clean that Congress people did not get that money. So this is in-house thing. 3 poll strategists they have tried, and look at their track record where they are. I don't want to name all of them and that is what the Congress does not want to build its own election management authority or election management system. And the same thing, the people, last word from my side in the sense on this topic. Now, what are Congress people praying? They're praying that, Kerala elections are advanced and Mr. K.C. Venugopal is projected as a chief ministerial candidate and a state center as chief. If this is the level of the Congress
management,
strategy, look at all the future elections, Delhi, Delhi, Bihar, then again back to Kerala, Tamil Nadu and all. So Congress does not have an election for itself. So they are really tied themselves in knots. And as I'm also, yeah.
Fair enough. But we all have someone here who does a bit of election strategy and very successfully. So, Daniel, what worked for Eknath Shinde? Was it his image? Because I was there in Mumbai during the elections and I remember having that conversation with you also. There was a lot of feedback on his track record. Forget the alliance, but Eknath Shinde per se, in terms of delivery, in terms of the Ladli Behna scheme, etc. So what worked for you guys?
2-3 things work. First, I'll talk about Eknath Shinde as a party and as an individual, and then about the coalition, that why the coalition also worked. One is that Eknath Shinde is really a very hardworking man, 24/7 politician. If you ask him to work for 2 or 3 continuous days, he will work for 2 and 3 continuous days. He gets excited when he sees people. He likes to have people around. And, solving problems, not the traditional way. Dekha jayega, dekh lenge, kal aana, file pe dalo. All these things he doesn't believe in. And the kind of work that he did, see, he's a very solid product. He's not something that you have told that, you do something like this. We just worked on what he was. He had solid strengths. And that started building trust and value for him amongst people, amongst masses. At the end of the day, who votes for you? Masses vote for you. And why they vote for you? Because they trust you, because they think that you are doing something for them.
What was his equation with the rest of the alliance, in terms of the BJP? Because while we are talking, the CM phase has still not been decided.
I will tell you what mistakes the Mahayuti did during Lok Sabha. Those mistakes they did not repeat in assembly. And I could see the Congress and the alliance partners doing the same mistake, or perhaps more, to damage their prospect. Congress is like that tortoise and hare story, that hare goes ahead, little bit ahead, and then he goes and sleeps saying that baki ke to main chhod diya piche. It's like that. So that Nana Patoli are very uninspiring people. Today, people want inspiring leadership. People want leadership of confidence. अरे ये मराठा है, ये जाट है, ऐसा नहीं वोट कर रहे लोग. There's a lot of demographic change that we are seeing. We are also seeing an aspirational class, an aspirational zat, as I may say, of what they want to, they want to know what you're going to do for them, how you're going to do for them. We have to be at the forefront of their battle and not make them follow us in our battles. So that's very interesting. And what happened is that there was serious coordination amongst these three parties. First of all, they settled their seats earlier in the day. Then they started focusing on their seats. Each one was given seats according to their strength. And then the election went really smooth because they were single message. Secondly, they had created around 6.5 crores to 7 crores labharthis through different schemes. And we were hammering them.
Okay, so they were better organized welfare schemes and coordination. I'm going to take a quick break and come back to you, but after the quick break.
MDH की देगी मीरज,
देगी मिर्च का तड़का, अंग अंग फड़का.
MDH की देगी मीरज.
Hello and welcome back to the roundtable. We're here discussing the lessons from Maharashtra, and I think one of the what Daniel spoke about was the leadership. You are going into the old caste combinations. Congress didn't even have an inspiring leader. How much of the Congress put their weight behind Uddhav? As you said, Uddhav took the lead. That is still a huge issue with you. But in Haryana, you had a good leader. Wahan par bhi nahi chala.
So there were two things that happened, the commonality between Haryana and Maharashtra. But I want to say something else, but let me just address this since you've said this. I agree with Daniel on two issues. The commonality between Haryana and Maharashtra was the polarization. On Haryana, the polarization was on caste basis, though the leadership rightly was inspiring, but at the same time, what was a need of segregating the Dalit leadership? You please see, Congress's core voters have always been Muslims and Dalits, and then you'd have either the Brahmin, earlier it used to be Brahmin, Muslim, Dalit. So, you completely alienated the Dalit leadership in Haryana. Then you got an Ashok Tawar who सब जगह पर जाकर आए थे, फिर उसको आपने last में लिया. Very bad messaging. So that counter polarization worked on the caste issues. Now in Maharashtra, as I explained earlier, there was polarization by the BJP, but the counter polarization happened when Mohtarma and Chauhar, when all of them went to these Maulanas. That created counter polarization. There was no need to have listened to these Maulanas. I personally, again, I'll tell you one more thing. I told the MBA leadership that when this ulema letter came, reply to them saying, don't vote for us. But if you're voting for us, vote for us because we are Maharashtrian. Don't vote on religious lines. You will win the elections. So, nahi, meri baat. You're flirting with them. It doesn't work. But let me say a larger issue. I'll tell you where we are still wrong. Really, because I support them. I went from Delhi to Pune to vote for them. I'll tell you where we are wrong. Yesterday, Sanjay Rautji did a press conference. And he said, Dekho, Eknath Shinde ji nahi ban rahe. Dekho, Ajit Pawar ji nahi ban rahe. So, because Harshit ji is from UP, I will say a little saying from UP, and it's Eastern UP ka saying. Zindagi jhandwa, fir bhi ghamandwa. In Mumbai language we'll say Sanjay Raut ji नीचे टंगड़ी ऊपर, टंगड़ी is leg ऊपर. भैया आप चुनाव हार गए हो, आपके पास विधायक नहीं है. आप इस पे हंस रहे हो कि एकनाथ शिंदे जी को क्या मिलेगा, अजीत पवार जी को. भैया उनके पास 50 MLA थे, आपके पास राज्यसभा जाने को विधायक नहीं, और आपका ये घमंड. Then you blame the Chief Justice of India. मतलब there is something seriously wrong, and if it isn't comedy, it is tragic. The guy needs help. But this is the face of your alliance. You come out, and I'm not saying this today. I've always told you this, Priya. Always shows I've told you. I'll just end by saying, This man and this alliance should have been distanced Uddhavji in 2023. I'll just end in 2023. The seriousness of this man. He wrote a letter to United Nations saying declare June 20th as anti-traitor day. This is the IQ level of the combined Shiv Sena Uddhav Thackeray group. Why were we flirting with them? Why were we flirting? And again, if not been for Raj Thackeray ji, Bala Saheb Thackeray's grandson would have lost. What a 5 million game. He would have lost for that. Tell Daniel the data.
I agree. Daniel will probably agree with you also. Sanjay, then what happens? Will this alliance continue with Uddhav Thackeray? There is the wrong narrative being followed, lack of leadership, lack of narrative. What is going to happen in Maharashtra?
Priya, I think there are 2 points to consider. One is the Maha Vikas Aghadi as an alliance is reduced to 50 seats. So you don't really have a choice but to be together. I mean, if at the moment they're not together, the opposition is literally absent, which is never good for democracy. I mean, like it or not, even if the MVA had won the way Mahayuti had won, I would not have been very happy because this is not good for any democracy, trust me. Now, here is the point that I think this election, frankly, I believe it was a local election. I know Mr. Modi went and made a speech in the evening and it appeared like a BJP show, but the fact remains this was a hyper or a local election. I think that the fact remains that you are going to see a lot of political turbulence in Maharashtra. I think Daniel Francis has every right to claim a lot of the credit for the way Eknath Shinde came across as a people's man, so on and so forth. And remember, this was a man many people, and I'm being blunt here, many people even in Maharashtra had not even heard of him. We are all political junkies, so we know. But ask the common man, many people had not heard of him in Maharashtra, other than those who follow politics very closely. When he became a chief minister, I think he surprised everybody. I think people had no idea that somebody could take on Bala Saheb Thackeray's son and become a chief minister supported by the BJP. But I do see a certain degree of a challenge for the Mahayuti because end of day, the state's finances are literally in a very fragile position. And you can make all the promises, but execution will be difficult. I think the Mahayuti is a creation of a very conspiratorial politics of betrayal. And I think what you're witnessing today is the fact that the BJP is not trusted by either Eknath Shinde or Ajit Pawar and vice versa, which is why you are going to see some time before a government gets formed. But watch the space. I do believe that things change dramatically in politics. There will be a BMC election. I don't agree with Tessin when he says that the Supreme Court's, rubbishing by Sanjay Raut is totally a figment of his imagination. It is not. The truth is, if you read the entire essay on the way the government was formed, right till Rahul Narvekar's statement, even the Supreme Court was very explicit in saying that this is not a government that has been formed in a democratic fashion. So the Supreme Court not taking any action on the government itself helped the government take its chance and move on. And the election commission was compromised. If the election commission was not compromised, the Maharashtra election would have happened earlier. And all these
that debate will go in a little another debate. One quick point, because
I have a lot of love and respect for Sanjay. I really love him a lot. But to say nobody knew Eknath Shinde is, I think that shows elitism. I'm really saying this. The guy joined politics in 1980. In 1980,
fine. So,
97, the guy was a corporator. He's a strong man of Thane. He's the one who beat Jitendra Awad. So, this elitism that just because somebody doesn't speak English, and that is why he chased Uddhav Thackeray.
No, that's not what he meant. He meant the national stage. Nobody knew, which is in a way makes the... Okay, Rashid, come in. Okay, Tessin, we got your point. Let Rashid come in. We're out of time. I want Daniel also. Rashid.
Yeah, so I think what Daniel was saying, he's a spot on. You need to have a sense of purpose. You need to have a lot of commitment. And Priya, that is where I think there is a big difference between BJP Congress, MVA, Mahayuti, or any kind of, combination. You look at the fact about this, election malpractices, the doubt over EVM. What is opposition doing? They are looking in a public domain, very silly because they are talking, different people are saying different things. If they feel very strongly that Maharashtra election was rigged, they can, all that, 49 people can resign. and make it just like, one party thing. And it will have some shock value. Whether how will it play out, we do not know. But opposition doesn't have any sense of purpose. Priya, just one last thing. See, you look at that 48 hours between November 23rd when the verdict came out and the Lok Sabha met. What was leader of opposition doing? He was there in whichever order you look at it, from Delhi to Shimla to Jaipur to Chandigarh and the back. So what was he doing in all these places? Jaipur, a wedding. Shimla, sort of personal life. Chandigarh, again a wedding, I would assume. And that. So, and first day not making an appearance at 11 a.m. in the morning in Lok Sabha when, you lost election. So I think there are a lot of things that you need, to projection and get your act together. The, this India Alliance is not doing, Congress is not doing, and that is why among various other factors, they are doomed.
Daniel, it really comes down to, the opposition is not getting his act together. How will you work in coordination? Is there enough trust between, because each one has got a good strike rate. How is this government going to work?
The government eventually will be formed sooner or later. Sometimes government with bigger mandates are formed, take more time than the governments with lesser mandates. That aside, because Mr. Shinde has a claim on the mandate. The BJP being the largest party also has a claim on the mandate. So they will sort it out, keeping in mind. But one has to realize that the people sitting in Delhi are politically very strong and wise people, and they will take the right decision what's good for Maharashtra. Nevertheless, Mr. Shinde is a unique man because, yes, people did not know him before he became the chief minister. But when you come to an important chair, how you utilize it to further the interest of your party, the state, and your own interest later is an exceptional example in that. Right. People had got power in the past, but they destroyed it with their own hands. Yeah. Here you have somebody who's created an image bigger than many of his contemporaries, and also established himself as a legitimate Shiv Sainik. People have bought that argument. Today, Uddhav Thackeray has got 20 seats, out of which 8 to 10 seats are because of the traditional Congress vote. I don't want to call it minority, majority, and look at it from a communal angle, but traditionally Congress vote. Tomorrow, if he breaks an alliance with the Congress and this vote goes back to the Congress party, he's finished anyway. But Uddhav Thackeray had a chance to consolidate his party and position in national politics as he became chief minister, but he couldn't handle the party. Same story with Congress party. They can't handle the party. They are focusing on their own Ladki Bahin in Wayanad. And here, Ladki Bahin is sweeping election in Maharashtra. They are a personality-obsessed and family-obsessed party. They are not obsessed by their bogus, presentation of their own ideology. They don't stand up. They don't bring accountability in the organizations. They don't lead from the front. Only posturing as such.
Absolutely.
And I'll tell you one thing, that they are doing worse than 2014 in many ways. Let's not be worse than 2014. And the state finances will be in doldrums and all. Center and state, if you have both the governments, finances can be managed. What will you do about Karnataka? Where the state finance, our ministers and MLAs are crying that we are not getting any funding. So there is big issue.
And Himachal Bhavan is up for sale.
I am telling you one small thing. Jab tak Rahul hai, tab tak BJP, NDA safe hai.
You have seem looking daggers at you on that point. But on that note, thank you so much, all of you. Okay.
It's a day to celebrate.
Is he saying Vikram Betal story?
He hasn't yet said it. On that note, thank you all for this conversation, and we're going to keep track more on what's happening in Maharashtra and the impact of it on the national narrative also. But for now, thank you.
आपके घर के खाने में रेस्टोरेंट जैसा स्वाद ले आए MDH का शाही पनीर मसाला। पनीर को क्या मस्त बना डाला।
एंटी नारकोटिक्स टास्क फोर्स हाईली प्रोफेशनल बंदे हायर कीते ने, चाहे वो लॉ अफसर होण, चाहे वो फोरेंसिक दे होण, चाहे होर जांच दे अधिकारी होण, ते अपनी होणगे इन्हां दे।
भगवंत सिंह मान जी की जो एंटी नारकोटिक्स टास्क फोर्स है, इसमें कन्विक्शन रेट इज़ एज हाई एज 81%। व्हाट्सएप चैटबोट एंटी ड्रग हेल्पलाइन जिसका नाम है सेफ पंजाब, भगवंत सिंह मान जी ने इसीलिए लॉन्च करी थी कि लोगों को हमसे भी ज़्यादा इन्फॉर्मेशन होती है कि कौन नशा बेच रहा है, कहाँ बेच रहा है। 457 पे एक्शन भी लिया जा चुका है, जैसे कि रेड करना उनके घर पे या फिर FIR करना।
ਜਿਹੜਾ ਨਸ਼ਾ ਹੈ ਇੱਕ ਬਹੁਤ ਵੱਡੀ ਲਾਨਤ ਹੈ, ਪਰਿਵਾਰ ਖਤਮ ਹੋ ਰਹੇ ਇਹਦੇ ਨਾਲ। ਇਸ ਕਰਕੇ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਦੀ ਬੜੀ ਅੱਛੀ ਸੋਚ ਹੈ ਜਿਹੜੀ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਨੇ ਜ਼ੀਰੋ ਟੋਲਰੈਂਸ ਰੱਖੀ ਹੈ ਵੀ ਨਸ਼ੇ ਨੂੰ ਖਤਮ ਕੀਤਾ ਜਾਏ।
ਲਾਅ ਐਂਡ ਆਰਡਰ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਅਸੀਂ ਕੋਈ ਢਿੱਲ ਨਹੀਂ ਦਿੰਦੇ ਤੇ ਨਾ ਹੀ ਕਿਸੇ ਨੂੰ ਬਖਸ਼ਿਆ ਜਾਂਦਾ। 3.5 ਕਰੋੜ ਲੋਕਾਂ ਦਾ ਇੱਕ ਗੁਲਦਸਤਾ ਹੈ ਪੰਜਾਬ ਸਾਡਾ, ਸੋ ਸਾਰਿਆਂ ਦੀ ਜਾਨ ਮਾਲ ਦੀ ਰਾਖੀ ਕਰਨਾ ਗਵਰਨਮੈਂਟ ਦਾ ਫਰਜ਼ ਬਣਦਾ ਹੈ।
Under the leadership of Chief Minister Bhagwant Singh Mann, the Punjab government has a zero tolerance policy against drugs. Another strict step by the Punjab government, Safe Punjab, anti-drug helpline and WhatsApp chatbot. For complaints, message us at 97791 00200. Join us in the fight against drugs.
खुद को पैम्पर करिए MDH बादाम रोगन के साथ, जो आपको सवारे, निखारे और नरिश करे।
चमके चमके हाँ दमके दमके,
त्वचा में समाये, हाइड्रेट करे, हर उम्र की त्वचा का पोषण करे।
You deserve the purity.
MDH बादाम रोगन, नेचुरल, टेंडर, प्योर।
चमके चमके।
अगर आप बनना चाहते हैं एंकर या फिर आप में है जुनून एक तेज तर्रार न्यूज रिपोर्टर बनने का, तो आप ज्वाइन करें ITV और इंडिया न्यूज NewsX का मीडिया स्कूल। ITV नेक्स्ट मीडिया इंटरनेशनल स्कूल का कोर्स आपको मौका देता है देश के दिग्गज एंकर्स के साथ काम करने का। ITV नेक्स्ट मीडिया इंटरनेशनल स्कूल में आप बेहद नजदीकी से देख पाएंगे किस तरह से ITV नेटवर्क के दिग्गज पत्रकारों की टीम दिन रात खबरों पर काम करती है। इस कोर्स के दौरान आप सीखेंगे एंकरिंग की एक एक बारीकी उन एंकर्स के साथ जो देश को रखते हैं हर खबर से बाखबर। ITV नेक्स्ट मीडिया इंटरनेशनल स्कूल का ये कोर्स आपके एंकरिंग स्किल्स को करेगा इतना सशक्त, मजबूत, जिससे आप बनेंगे पत्रकारिता की दुनिया का वो चमकता चेहरा जो दुनिया देखेगी और पसंद करेगी।
I was in Bollywood by default. Let's put it that way. Amit ji got up from his chair, came up to me and he said, "Hi, I'm Amitabh Bachchan." He said, "I'm Amitabh." I was very bad at was going and asking for work. There were actors who were fielding better than me and willing to work for free also, I guess. I was in Bollywood by default. Let's put it that way. Amit ji got up from his chair, came up to me and he said, "Hi, I'm Amitabh Bachchan." He said, "I'm Amitabh." I was very bad at was going and asking for work. There were actors who were fielding better than me and willing to work for free also, I guess.
Welcome back, viewers. Now let's get the top breaking of this hour. According to the sources ahead of the formation of the Maharashtra government after the recently held assembly elections, it is clear that Devendra Fadnavis will be the Maharashtra Chief Minister. Due to massive mandate, the BJP did not hurry to announce anyone as the CM face, as it would have given a wrong message of hurting the Maratha sentiment. Shinde himself announced his decision, which eased the pressure on the BJP. And days after speculation on the name of the Chief Minister of Maharashtra, after the BJP-led Mahayuti's win, in fact, was secured, now the name for Devendra Fadnavis, the Deputy Chief Minister of Maharashtra, is in fact getting clearer, where in fact it is expected that oath-taking ceremony will be followed soon. All right, now joining me live on the broadcast is my colleague Anand Singh, in fact, on this news break. Anand, very good morning to you. What it seems like coming at this point of time after days of speculation on who will be the Chief Minister of Maharashtra is what was most expected, and now Devendra Fadnavis is in fact likely to take the top chief post, while the other people of the cabinet will be now constituted between the key portfolios. What is the latest that in fact you are tracking at this point of time? Are there any other probable names for the number of portfolios that have been confirmed so far?
Yeah, Simran, look, the day on which the election results came, it was very clear that the BJP was not going to leave the chief ministerial post with the numbers they got over here in Maharashtra, as the BJP was just short of majority on its own by only 13 seats, as it got 132 out of 288 seats. So the BJP, before deciding on the chief ministerial face, it waited for Eknath Shinde to give a message that he was not in the CM race, as because the BJP didn't want to give a wrong message to the people of Maharashtra, as there were two Maratha faces over here in the top leadership. That included Eknath Shinde himself, who had broke the Shiv Sena earlier, and he had joined the hands with BJP over here and formed the Mahayuti. And similar was the case with Ajit Pawar, who is also a Maratha face. So the BJP didn't want to hurt the sentiments of Maratha, that they used Maratha people over here to just come to power. However, they waited for Eknath Shinde to announce his decision, and then it became very much easier for the BJP to have its own chief ministerial face. And what we have learned from our sources, that the name of Devendra Fadnavis is almost confirmed. There almost 95% chances are there of Devendra Fadnavis to lead the state once again, because if we talk about whatever the reasons earlier, many people have cited that BJP has been giving surprise faces in several of the states, like in Chhattisgarh or in Haryana or in Rajasthan or in Madhya Pradesh. So looking at the scenario here in Maharashtra, Devendra Fadnavis has led the state as chief minister for 5 years, but it was not the condition with either Shivraj Singh Chauhan or Vasundhara Raje or Raman Singh, as they had led the state for more than 10-12 years. And if we talk about Shivraj Singh Chauhan especially, he was the chief minister for around 18 years, and he is also 68 years plus. So looking at the age and factors behind Devendra Fadnavis, he is young, he comes from Brahman community, he was the face of the party over here in Maharashtra elections. And then the way in which he had led the BJP over here in 3 consecutive assembly elections, this cannot be ignored. This is what the BJP leaders are also accepting behind the doors, that the way in which Fadnavis, who was the state BJP chief between 2013 to 2015, the BJP got more than 100 seats. Then also in 2019 assembly elections, BJP got 105 seats. And now in 2024, the 3rd consecutive assembly elections, which the BJP fought, especially on the face of Devendra Fadnavis in Maharashtra, especially, where even the posters of Prime Minister Narendra Modi and Amit Shah, all the top leaders were there, but it was Devendra Fadnavis who was taking all the attacks of the Mahavikas Aghadi and opposition leaders on himself, and he led the BJP from the front. So looking at the contribution, the way in which Devendra Fadnavis has worked in last 15 years in Maharashtra, it is almost certain that Devendra Fadnavis is going to be once again the chief ministerial face of Maharashtra. And if we talk about portfolio similar that you just mentioned, we have been
All right,
indicated by the
Anand, in fact,
sources.
I'll request you to kindly stay on with me on the broadcast while we also get my guest, Chandra Mishra, as in fact on the broadcast. Sir, very good morning and thank you for speaking to NewsX. Appreciate you joining me live. What is in fact your assessment of how the power formula for the formation of the Maharashtra government, particularly at this point of time, after the BJP-led Mahayuti secured a huge victory, will be in fact emerging. Now, the suspense surrounding the Maharashtra's next chief minister continues to deepen, although there are likely and probable names, and there is in fact a full possibility for Devendra Fadnavis to succeed now the caretaker chief minister Eknath Shinde. But in fact, the next 24 hours are going to be very crucial when we speak about a big decision is also likely to be made, also given the consideration of the rumors that Eknath Shinde is also upset over the ongoing CM face speculations. Now there are also rumors coming from Shiv Sena leader Uday Samant clarifying that Shinde is fully engaged in the decision making process. How do you view this brewing ahead of the finalization of the chief minister for Maharashtra?
I think this is a very turning point in the history of, in the political history of Maharashtra. For last few decades, Maharashtra was a kind of, say you can say that there was a difference between the cup and the leaf as far as BJP was concerned. It was always closer to power or achieved power, but could not get on its own majority. This time also, it has not got the majority on its own, but is very close to it, and I think they probably play the game, say Shinde versus Ajit Pawar versus all, and divide the groups, and they may form the government somehow or other. It is not the matter of Shinde, it is not the matter of Ajit Pawar. It is the matter of BJP, how determined they are this time specifically after that drawing in the parliament elections. BJP is now completely like means in an aggressive mood or determined mood, you can say. So they are not going to leave Maharashtra, a crucial state where lies the finance capital of India. They are not going to lose it at any cost. So somehow or other, from here onwards, BJP will try to consolidate its base, and probably the BJP, Shiv Sena is going to probably become immaterial in the political history of Maharashtra once they unite the Hindu votes and play the game in that manner. And if they take that, say, Shivaji card and handle that Maratha card also, and so also the Maratha Swabhiman, so they can, by disturbing the Thackeray family, they have already disturbed the vote bank of Shiv Sena. Shinde is never the face of Shiv Sena. Shinde was only promoted to destabilize or to disturb the base of Thackeray family, and that is already achieved. Now onwards, the challenge before BJP is that how to manage it for the time being, so that everything becomes smooth and they take power onto their hands. Then their cards, they can consolidate the Hindu base, the Maratha Swabhiman, and the means their vote base. They were always ahead in the vote base. They are in Maharashtra. But this time, they have already gone ahead in the number game. And this time, they will try to consolidate it. And Shiv Sena, they will try to make Shiv Sena just history this time. And so, I think, I don't know who will be the face, though Devendra Fadnavis is the most befitting face because he was the person who has the backing of Nagpur, that means the RSS, who was fighting from the front and known as a very, say, not very aggressive figure like the earlier Shiv Sainiks, though the present Shiv Sainiks are not so aggressive. So he is not so aggressive, but he is an acceptable face. And acceptable face as far as Mumbai is also concerned, the finance capital is concerned, because Mumbai is not only that Maratha base, and so also all the regions of Maharashtra. So Devendra Fadnavis is believed to be the consensus face and most acceptable face of BJP, though there are other names, other rounds. But I think probably ultimately BJP will stick to its gun and bring in Devendra Fadnavis as the face of BJP, and the temporary adjustments where to keep Sindhe, where to keep power, all these things may happen. They may even try to, I believe probably it will be in the best interest of BJP if they shift Sindhe to the center with a cabinet post. That will be probably the better thing for them.
All right. In fact, this is going to be very critical for the developments to take place, as in the next 24 hours is what we are given to understand. A crucial decision on the name of the Chief Minister of Maharashtra will be decided. Now moving on, in fact, according to the sources, swearing in ceremony in Maharashtra is likely to take place on December 5th at Azad Maidan in Mumbai. On the day of swearing in ceremony, total of 25 ministers to take oath, out of which 15 ministers will be from the BJP and 5 each from the NCP and Shiv Sena. All right, Anand Singh is joining me live on the broadcast. Anand, in fact, what is going to be the confirmed details that, in fact, the information that we have acquired so far over the swearing in ceremony? Now, 15 ministers of the BJP, given the fact that BJP has in fact won with the resounding victory in Maharashtra, is what we are given to understand. What is the update that you are tracking at this point of time?
Yes, Simran, look, earlier it was being said that the swearing-in ceremony will likely take place on December 2. But looking at the schedule of Prime Minister Narendra Modi and Home Minister Amit Shah, they are busy in the DG conference till December 1. So, looking at the busy schedule of the senior leadership of the BJP, the time slot comes between December 2 to December 5. So, given the fact that the BJP is yet to hold the meeting of its leaders over here, when the party observers need to be appointed and they will elect a party leader over here. So, that process has not been completed, as the BJP is yet to name its observers for Maharashtra. And if we talk about the meeting between the three Mahayuti partners over here, that is Shiv Sena, Sindhe faction, which is being led by the caretaker Chief Minister Eknath Sindhe himself, then NCP AP leader Ajit Pawar and BJP's Devendra Fadnavis. So all these three leaders, when they had met in the national capital on just 2 days ago, late night, means on today it's being Saturday. So on Thursday night, they met Union Home Minister Amit Shah, and there it was decided that most of the cabinet portfolios they need to discuss here in Mumbai, and Amit Shah gave them clear indication that, look, this is what we have learned from our sources, that CM face will be from BJP, and you people need to discuss all the portfolios among yourself. And the indication that we got on the day of the swearing, now it is being said to be December 5, and it will take place at Azad Maidan, where at least 15 ministers from the BJP are likely to take oath, as there are total of 43 cabinet state portfolios over here for the minister, and out of which 5 each from Sindhe camp, and Ajit Pawar camp can also take oath on that very day on December 5, while rest of the 18-20 portfolios will be distributed in the coming days. So now the entire focus is on who will get which portfolio, as BJP is adamant on getting the home department over here, while the Sindhe faction is mentioning that when Sindhe was the chief minister, the home department was with Devendra Fadnavis. Thus, similarly, now the home department should come with the Shiv Sena Sindhe faction, whereas the BJP is not ready to give up on that home ministry portfolio over here to Sindhe faction. Now, whereas whatever portfolios Ajit Pawar was handling, he is going to get all those portfolios. However, the sources have indicated that Ajit Pawar is also likely to get finance department portfolio over here, whereas the BJP has also agreed to give the urban development and several other key portfolios to Sindh faction just to clear the air that who all will be getting how many portfolios over here. So a lot of deliberations need to happen, and even the chief minister yesterday, Eknath Shinde, left for Satara for 2 days. So it was rumored that he will be holding a meeting with all the three Maharashtra leaders, Mahayuti leaders over here in Mumbai. However, that meeting didn't take place yesterday. And today, if we look at the schedule of the chief minister, he is again not in Mumbai. So definitely, this meeting is going to be delayed. Thus, it was reason why even the